Coming up, a look at this year's Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. From the Bob Marley Studio in Orlando, Florida, this is the Diz Unplugged. This is the Diz Unplugged, episode number 645 for the week of September 17th, 2013. The Diz Unplugged is brought to you by Dreams Unlimited Travel, experts at helping you plan the perfect Disney vacation. Receive up to a $1,000 shipboard credit when you book your next Disney Cruise Line vacation with Dreams Unlimited Travel, and you'll also get an exclusive Dreams gift bag in your room when you sail out of Port Canaveral, Florida. Visit them on the web at www.dreamsunlimitedtravel.com. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show. Coming to you live from the Bob Marley Studio in Orlando, Florida, I am your host, Pete Werner, joined at the table this week by my good friends, Teresa Eccles, with that lovely hat, Kathy Whirling.
I forgot mine.
Corey Martin. He forgot his, too. Yeah. And back in the production nook, our good friends and producer, Dustin West, and associate producers, Sean Thompson and Craig Williams. And, of course, continuing to join us from our new show, very special guest, Scott Garland, a.k.a. Scotty Too Hotty, the professional wrestler, who is fit right in, I must say, with the group, very comfortable, and it's great. It's great having you in the studio.
I wish I had a hat, though.
Oh, let me see this. The first guest on the show that has his own action figure. Isn't that cool?
Nice.
It is
cool. The man
Yeah.
has his own action figure, so he can admire himself whenever he wants.
Or we can. Give it back over here.
Oh. Yeah, Teresa's all verklempt over there. So, as we do every year, we go and check out Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party on the first night. We did that this year, last Tuesday, as a matter of fact. And before we get into the details, Dustin has put together a wonderful overview of this year's party, so we'll go ahead and cut over to that. Awesome job, Dustin. Thanks very much for that. And
I think I went to one candy location, and you managed to get me on video.
Yeah.
Probably with a mouthful of candy, too.
And the first thing Dustin said when we put that in was, Corey's going to have something to say about that.
I didn't get permission from Corey.
Yeah, so we do normally have to get permission from Corey before we use his image in anything. He's very particular
as it
about
should
that.
be.
That is true.
And that's why I like to take candid shots of him when he's not looking and post them online. So let's. Everybody in the room has been to Mickey's Not So Scary this year. So let's talk about it some. Not a lot of changes, really. Nothing major in the way of changes this year from last year.
There were a few little things.
Little things. What did you notice?
More inside trick-or-treating locations. You had to go in the tiki room to get your candy.
I'm not sure I like that too much.
Well, at first I thought, this is wrong. I shouldn't be in this line. This is not the candy line. I don't want to sit through this. But though I do love it, I just didn't, And then I, kind of peeked in and saw that we were going to go in. So you didn't like that, Corey? I thought it was interesting.
And Pinocchio's was like that.
Yeah.
Do you think they did it because it was hot out, or
I think they did
planning for the weather?
No, I think they did it because what's closed across the way? Jungle Cruise is closed, and they normally have a big area down there to control traffic and to get it kind of off the path. That was my theory, though. That's why they moved it across to the tiki room.
I just don't like to go out of my way for candy. I like to just be there.
I thought it was pretty straightforward. It was, go out of here.
Corey wants to stand in one location and have the candy come to him.
They do have wheels.
It definitely wasn't out of the way, and one of the coolest things about it was they still had the effects going. They didn't have the full show going. So it's just one of those times you get to walk into the tiki room, take pictures of it while everything's moving without someone yelling at you for doing something, interrupting the show.
And if you'd never been in there, a lot of people I know don't even go in there. It was a chance to go in and kind of get a little peek as what's going on without having to sit through it. So. Yeah. I liked it.
Another big difference between last year is now, last year all the walls were up for Fantasyland, and it kind of opened up this year going from the new Fantasyland into Storybook Circus.
But not a lot happening back
there
in New Fantasyland, and as a result, New Fantasyland was empty. I think almost all the attractions were open, and Gaston's Tavern, or whatever that is, was open, but you had it to yourself. It was fantastic. It was fantastic, and just I'm hard pressed to find any area in any Disney theme park that looks as beautiful as New Fantasyland.
Oh, it really does.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just gorgeous. And some of these pictures, for those of you who are watching the video that you're looking at, were taken by Corey, and he put up an awesome photo blog on the pictures. Kathy also put up a fantastic blog on her top 5 things at her top 5 don't miss things at Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. Links to both of those in the show notes page, disunplugged.com. There were a couple of changes too to the parade this year. I think some floats were a little different. Some things were taken out. But generally speaking, it's the same party that it usually is. And that, I would like to see them do some other different things, but...
Oh, it's a fun party,
It is.
It really is. Yeah.
Let me finish.
Okay.
While I would like to see them do some different things, I stand by what I've said every year, well worth the price. You just take a look at that overview video with the decorations, the castle stage show, the parade, the fireworks, the candy locations.
Merchandise you can't get only at the party.
Yeah, merchandise. In my opinion, does make it worth the price of the hard ticket, which, depending on when you're going and when you're buying, can be about $60 or more for adults, and 40. I think it's 40 for kids 12 and under, somewhere in that range. So it's not an inexpensive ticket, but I think this is definitely one of those things where you actually get your money's worth. Something I did notice, first I want to make sure I mention this because I don't think we say this often enough, but it really struck me watching the Castle Stage Show, watching the parade. We got to start giving more love to the entertainers. These guys are really good.
Oh,
they really are talented.
They are.
And, I'm watching some of the guys that were in the parade were also in the Castle Stage Show. And, these guys are pulling double duty. They're doing 2 parades a night. God knows how many of those shows at the Castle they're doing a night. And, that was a particularly warm evening. And they're not just in those costumes. They are dancing around and doing stuff and doing it really well. And you could tell, especially I think because it was the first night, there's an awful lot of energy there. And I just think the entertainers, I don't think they get enough love. Disneyland tends to get a lot more of the attention on that because their proximity to Hollywood and Los Angeles, they tend to get, maybe there's a higher caliber of entertainer, a lot more competition out there than maybe there is here. But these guys were fantastic. Guys and girls were fantastic.
I know when we were walking in, the parade was going on, and all of the cast members from the Main Street shops were standing out on the sidewalk watching the parade, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
There was a different feel the night we went. I don't know. It had been probably 5 years since I'd done a party, so there were quite a few different changes for me, but it was just a different feel to the whole place with the cast members. Like, they were really happy to be working there.
Yeah, they're excited about it.
It was cool.
Now, Scott, you went with your kids. Now, you have an 8-year-old and a 12-year-old.
8-year-old boy and an 11-year-old daughter.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was like I said, it was the first time in I think 5 years. It had gotten to the point where living here and having an annual pass and being able to go all the time, I couldn't justify the ticket in my mind. That's what I told myself. But after going, I was like, man, this is cool. We had a blast. The kids dressed up in their costumes, and we did the trick or treating. Like? My son was I should have sent you guys over a picture. My son was this like a zombie. Where it has this harness that sits up on his shoulders, and there's a stump, so it doesn't look like he has a head.
Oh, wow.
His head sticks out through the.
Through the shirt and area.
So if he puts his hand here, it looks like he's holding his head.
Oh, that's
great.
cool.
That's great.
And my daughter just wore a Freddy Krueger shirt. She's getting to that point where she's kind of too cool to dress up.
Yeah, my 11-year-old's like that.
She had like a Freddy Krueger sweatshirt on with lipstick. I think it just gave her an excuse to wear makeup, honestly. It's what she was looking for. But no, they had a blast. And the dance party, they loved that with the Monsters, Inc. characters, which were really cool. You don't see them very often.
Dancing.
So...
now, have your kids inherited the Disney gene?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Hardcore fans?
Yeah. They'd been begging me for quite a while to take them back to Disneyland, and we just went out in December for 5 days. Maybe not as much as me, but I guess growing up here, it's not as I try to explain to them all the time that, hey, people save for years to come here.
Exactly.
Like, I picked them up at school at 3:00, and we're in the Magic Kingdom by 4:15. Some days I could say, "All right, you guys want to go to the Magic Kingdom, or do you want to go to the playground?" Oh, let's go to the playground. I'm like, these can't be my kids.
The dance parties are another feature of these events, and Teresa and Kathy always go and dance inappropriately around children.
I try.
And
I tried to get the children out of the way so I could dance, and they were hogging the little dude with the sock on his back. The little monster that always has the sock stuck on his back? Do you know what his name is?
I don't know his name.
Does he have a name, guys?
I don't think he has a name, but I know him. It's when they yell 2319 when the...
Okay, well, he's the one I like. The other two are kind of, they're in everything.
Well, you seem to like this one pretty all right.
Well, I couldn't get to the sock dude. Oh, shut up.
There's for those watching on video, you're seeing Teresa and the girls.
I told Kathy, I said, no lower shots. Make it keep it from the chest up, girl. I don't know. I see in my, whatever, my business. So it was fun. I like the dance parties. I think Tomorrowland is my favorite one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. It just seems like there's more. I don't know if it's the DJ, but I'm sure they mix it up. It's not the same one every time.
I thought the one in the Golden Horseshoe was fantastic. That DJ was amazing.
I like that one. I like that one too. But I guess I always, because I do it in such a way every year, the Golden Horseshoe is always the first one, so maybe it's not hopping and going as much.
It never is as busy
because we always go to that one first.
When we went into film, there was a lot of people in there.
And we just saw a few people.
We were there like at the last minute, like 5 minutes before
closing
midnight, and that place was packed.
So we were on the other side of the park, so
and
with our crowd.
I also noticed this year, one of the things I've complained about in years past has been that, on the first night of the party, early in the season for the party, they're a little cheap with giving out the candy. I didn't find that this year.
Oh no,
they
weren't with us.
I only went to a couple of locations, and my bag was full. But there is something I do have to mention, that there were two incidents that took place with cast members on this party that I feel I should mention because it's very concerning to me. Coming into the park, there was an older gentleman on Main Street that was helping direct traffic. If you're not staying for the party, please exit to the right. If you are staying for the party, what came out of his mouth next was, "I don't give a blank." Oh. And he said, but he said it with a smile on his face, like he was kind of joking, a little bit under his breath. But there were two other families and me that heard him, and everybody just stopped and looked. And he laughed, and he's like, "Oops, I shouldn't have said that."
Oh my gosh!
I was like, "Okay." And then in one of the candy locations, these two cast members were talking to each other. There was nobody there. We were walking up, and I overhear this girl talk about how she's getting screwed. And I just kind of did a double take. Like, normally they're going to be very conscious of that around guests, about talking like that or using language like that, especially when you have kids around.
She seemed like she was like in the college program or something.
Well, yeah, she was. They were both young, and she was obviously upset about something, and I'm assuming she was talking about work.
We hope.
They gave her the bin without chocolate, maybe.
And
she was mad.
I was really kind of taken aback by that, and I realize these are exceptions, and the vast majority of cast members would never do that. But I wanted to point it out because I just thought, the one incident on Main Street, I thought, okay, could be an anomaly, and then something else happens again. Not rant worthy here, but just something I wanted to mention that, I've talked a lot about the changes that they've made over the years in traditions training, and I think it has ended up having a negative impact on the quality of the frontline cast members.
Absolutely. I've actually seen that a few times lately too. Coming off the monorail a few weeks ago, one of the monorail guys looked up and dropped the S-bomb.
Really?
Something was wrong with the monorail, I guess. But I've noticed it too, which,
it's something. There was a time where it was unheard of for that to ever happen. And this, I think, I don't know. Like I said, it's not rant-worthy yet. If I see much more of it, then I think something's got to be said, because it means that the situation's degraded to a point now where they're just throwing people into the parks, and there's really no oversight and no training about how to act. There's no legacy training.
Yeah, I think you're starting to see now, doing away with the traditions, it's starting to catch up with them.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but when I was in Disneyland in December, I definitely noticed a difference between the cast members out there and cast members here. Not only were there older people who seemed like that was their career and they were proud to work there, as opposed to here, it seems like they're hiring anybody that will throw on a costume.
Well, one of the things to keep in mind in terms of the differences between Disneyland and Disney World is that Disneyland is very much a locals park. Having been there for 50-plus years, these people grew up with Disneyland, and there is a sense of ownership. There's a pride of ownership in Disneyland
Absolutely.
that Southern Californians have that I don't think we have out here. Most of us did not grow up here, did not grow up with these parks. Most of us here are transplants. We come from other parts of the country. So especially when you're hiring these younger guys and girls, I don't think that pride of ownership necessarily exists.
Right.
And that's part of it. But yeah, there is definitely, I can see a difference in the caliber.
I think another part of it is just this generation, the young generation now that's coming out of high school and into college. No offense, guys, because you are not included in this.
I agree.
they're funky. They're weird. I'm trying to raise one myself, and no matter you know what I mean. They're
Scott
just,
laughs knowingly.
knowingly. Oh, you're not even there yet. I got an 18-year-old. Wait till you get to that age, and they're all up in your face and stuff. So, but it's just a weird. I don't know if it's because of all the media, all the stuff they're doing. I don't know what it is. I can't.
I think social media does have a big
all the stuff they put out there, and
I think it's more or less work ethic.
Yeah.
I'd like to say that I have a great work ethic, but
You do.
I did.
All three of you.
I screwed around like that at times whenever I was a cast member too. I mean, I don't think anyone can say that they weren't guilty of it. That's in our age range. There might be someone out there, but everyone jokes around, starts talking.
Sean's perfect.
Sean's not ready to cop to that. Sean's not ready to cop to that.
If you paid attention in the great movie ride park bench that was just on, you'll see one of the greeters standing out there swinging a broom around for most of the video. And I stood there and watched him for 5 minutes. He saw me. He knew I had a camera right on them, but yet he's still just swinging the broom around like it wasn't any big issue.
You want to smack them? I'm sorry.
But I understand because
it only works at home, though.
I wasn't perfect, but then you do have those days where you're like, yeah, I need to watch what I'm doing because these are people paying a lot of money to come down here.
And I don't want to spend too much time on it because it wasn't anything. Most of the cast members I came across were fantastic and usually are, and nothing that happened that night took anything away from the experience. These are just things I noted, and because we do the show, I like to mention them, but nothing. I wasn't like, oh my God, you know. And again, these parties, and I include Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. These are phenomenal. These really are great experiences, and especially for us, I think, or I'll speak for myself. The first Mickey's Not So Scary, heralds the arrival of my favorite season down here, fall going into Christmas. So we know that we've got the Halloween party, we've got Food and Wine Festival, we've got the Swan Dolphin Food and Wine Classic. We've got Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. We've got
cooler weather,
all the cool stuff that goes on for Christmas and the holidays. So, this is one of the things I look forward to every single year, and this year was no exception. What about the rest of you? Observations? Which Scott, let's talk to you. I'm assuming you went on some of the attractions with your kids?
The only thing we did was the Haunted Mansion, which was cool. The cast members were all made up, which and the lighting treatment and the music, everything was different. So it felt like a different, on the outside anyways, it was a different ride, so it was the whole park in general was, the lighting and the music was different. So it just, like I said, it just had a different feel, and it was, we had a blast. It really did. I definitely will do it again. Like I said before, I couldn't justify it before, just because I felt like we could do everything with an annual pass that you could do at the party aside from the candy, and I don't feel like that now with that parade.
Oh, yeah.
We didn't see the fireworks. I wish we had, but the parade itself is just awesome.
No, Hallowish is one of the best fireworks shows Disney puts on. I mean, just ridiculously good.
This time from behind the castle. And I put that in my blog that I think that's, if you've seen the fireworks, if you've been a number of times, watch them from behind the castle.
You had some great pictures of that, too.
They were just, it brought a whole new perspective to seeing the fireworks. And there was hardly anybody back there.
Yeah. And I kept meaning to send you an email telling you how much I enjoyed that blog. So let me tell it to you now.
Oh, thank you.
Great job on that blog. Great job. I really love to see you do more top 5 things like that at these different events. Cause,
that was Corey's idea. So.
That wasn't my idea. I think it was somebody else's idea.
Well, whoever idea it was, Kathy was the one who did it, and she did an awesome job. So make sure we throw Kathy some love on that. But and then the pictures you took, Corey, just, oh, my Lord. And the video, we went live. Again, follow us on live stream if you want to see this stuff, folks. We went live with the parade, and we went live with the fireworks. that night.
And Craig's actually produced both the fireworks video and the Villains Castle Forefront show.
Right.
Those are up on YouTube. And our overview video that we just played now will be up later today.
Yep.
And we have the full parade as well.
And the full parade, yep.
And Vine, how fun is that?
Vine, yeah. Teresa's really getting into Vine.
I'm enjoying that. It's just, you know what I like about it? You shoot it, it's short, you mess it up, you just delete it, and you know, and you're done with it. You don't have to go back and do anything to it. It's done. It's a done deal. So that's fun.
Teresa's enjoying Vine.
Good. I know it's a little media thing for me.
Yeah, hey, go with it. Go with it. You're enjoying it.
I'm weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
Start doing some Vine things at the Welcome Center.
Like what?
Vine a basket from start to finish.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Vine a basket from start to finish. Teresa manages the disboards.com and Dreams Unlimited Travel Welcome Center in Port Canaveral. We don't mention that much anymore, and we really should.
We don't. What's that about?
I don't know. You know, you can always go out there if you're going on the cruise. It's only a mile away from the cruise terminal. Come by and say hello to Teresa and whoever else may be out there. And you should Vine like the making, because we honestly, Dreams Unlimited make some amazing baskets, these huge gift bags that we put in the staterooms of our clients. And I say ours because, in the interest of full transparency, I am an owner in Dreams Unlimited, along with John and Donna Lefevre, our business partner. And people love our gift bags.
They do. They love them. Love them, love them, love them.
And
it's fun to make.
Fun to make.
I do want to say something that I know a lot of people, they spot us in the park sometimes, but they never come up to us. I'm just saying, now you might want to just come say hi, because their chances are we'll have custom-made buttons in our pockets that we're giving out to
We're
people.
very excited about buttons right now.
There's a lot of button.
Corey's been hiding a button maker.
He has. What's that about? How long have you had that, and why didn't you tell us?
It was in the garage.
Wow, how prosecutorial.
Well, it's a buttons.
Don't you know
like
Teresa would love
buttons.
something like that? You know?
Well, aren't we sending that out to the Welcome Center for her to do that?
Yeah,
It will be. Yeah.
Making
She'll be
buttons.
pressing buttons.
Do you have the?
I think I had an idea that I
cutter?
was going to do buttons for the podcast cruise, and I think I did a few. And I'm like, there's no way I can do 500 of these.
Oh, man.
And so it went into the
You have to
garage.
get the automatic cutter, because I have a button maker at home and an automatic cutter that you just put the paper down and it cuts out the circles.
Oh yeah, this has that, but you have to do one at a time.
Yeah, but
500 times.
You literally have to.
it's pretty fast.
That's when you send it to Teresa. Teresa, make 500 of these buttons.
I'll make a cat button.
So if you see us, say hi.
Yeah, we
might have a
giving out
button.
at the
People were excited when we gave them their
Yeah.
buttons.
Yeah, at the party, we were all handing out buttons to any of our listeners that came up to us. What else? What else do we want to talk
I want to
about?
mention, because I stopped at Town Hall again to see how they accommodate people with, sugar-free needs and gluten-free. Disney has now gone to, they have what looks like a plastic placemat, and you walk in and you say what your issue is, and they say, which candy do you want? And I didn't have my glasses on, so I couldn't read all the print, but like if you said that you were gluten-free, that you could choose from a couple different kinds of candy. And so then you would tell them what kind of candy you wanted, and they would go in the back room and bring you out a bag of. So I said sugar-free, and they brought me out a bag with about 20 Brock's butterscotch mints. I mean, a very nice, healthy helping of this. And I thought that was really nice that now you can pick what you want.
Again, one of the areas where Disney just really shows their class, I think, is in how they handle issues like dietary restrictions. Even at certainly it's well known that it's done at restaurants, but it's also done at the Halloween parties. If you're diabetic or you have gluten free or other allergies, they have alternatives. Just go into City Hall.
Mm-hmm. And then the other night we were down at Give Kids the World, and they had this blogger bash, and this cast member behind the counter threw his business card at Katie, because we both had Diz Unplugged on our thing, and he goes, "Here, I just want you to know that we listen to your podcast, and because you're always talking about sugar-free and gluten-free, that they now have come up with gluten-free beignets, but they listen to our podcast and they hear what we talk about, and they're trying to incorporate that at Disney."
Cool.
So
Awesome.
you just never know when you're going to
Wait, this was a cast member?
Yes.
Oh, cool.
They had, they were volunteering down there that night.
Oh, when you first said it here, I thought, oh,
Yeah.
No,
I was thinking,
like he was very proud that he met somebody from the Diz Unplugged and look, this is what we're doing for you guys.
well, they're not doing it for us.
Well, but because we've talked about this and made more people aware.
When it comes to helping people with dietary issues and restrictions, I don't think there is another company on the planet that goes as far as Disney does in doing it right. So it's one of the areas where, in my opinion, they really can't be criticized. But that extends to these parties. Anybody think this isn't worth? I mean, granted, the company pays for you guys to go, but if you had to shell that money out for yourself, if you, Craig, for example, for you and Kylie to go, had to shell out $120 to get in the park that night, is that worth it?
Oh yeah, I mean, I did last year, and I've done it the past 3 or 4 years since I've been down here, and we're gonna at least go one more time so we can dress up and actually not go to do work. It's totally worth it. Although Tom shared some of the pictures with me out at Disneyland and videos of what was happening out there, and I mean, I really want to go out to Disneyland.
I don't even go there. I've done their party.
Yeah, I know. I tried to get out there a couple of years ago for Halloween.
Talking about whether it's worth it or not, I've had people tell me, and I think it's a good suggestion. If you don't have an annual pass and you're going to come down for this time of year and you want to go to the parks or you want to go to the party, maybe don't use a ticket that day.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, definitely.
Don't use your ticket that day. Hang out, do something else, and then you're going to enjoy the park that night. You can get in as early as 4 o'clock, I believe.
Yep.
I mean, that would be the way to do it. The rides are less. What's open, you're going to get easy because you don't have the long lines of the daytime. And I think it's well worth it. I mean, I would do it.
And a good number of attractions are open for the party, and there are
a lot of attractions,
dining locations that are open throughout the party. One of the things that did bother me was they were shutting down the candy locations 15 minutes before the party ended, and that kind of bothered me. That we were Dustin and I were doing our thing. We filmed both parades. Because our parade video, you'll notice, is shot in 3 different locations. Craig shot from Main Street, Dustin and I shot from the Hub and from Liberty Square. And so we kind of wanted to show this parade in different locations. So, by the time we got done with the second parade and we had to go do some other filming, getting some candy, we were kind of doing it last minute. And almost every one of them shut down about 15 minutes before the party ended, and I thought that was a little unfair. Yeah, wait. If the party ends at midnight, that's when the candy should end at midnight. But again, if that's all I can complain about, that's a pretty successful night.
And they were giving out, from what I could see, good candy as well. Nice, brand names that you trust.
What irritates me is, and it's just my own weirdness, is I don't think you should mix the chocolate with the fruity stuff because it taints the taste of the chocolate.
It does.
And I don't like that. So.
What the hell are you talking about?
Well, okay, so you got your trick or treat bag.
Do you have to eat them all at once?
No, but when you gotta get home and dump it out and separate it quickly, or the chocolate gets all tainted with the.
Okay, but all this stuff is wrapped.
It is, but am I right? Justin, agree with me.
Absolutely right. I know exactly what you're talking about.
All the little boys agree.
What are you talking about?
Okay, I'll try to.
When you were a kid, you'd come back with your pumpkin, and you'd have all that candy.
Your pumpkin, your pillowcase. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, you did.
No.
Oh.
Okay. Whatever.
Okay.
What are you talking about tainted?
Okay.
So the taste just melds into one chocolate fruit
the
taste.
M&Ms are no longer a true M&M. They're like an M&M with a little fruity overlay.
Oh, they are not.
Oh, no, they are.
They are not. You're psychotic.
I'm going to have to go home and test mine then because mine were all still commingled.
Mine's all gone. I took mine to the Welcome Center, and people that came in over the weekend just gobbled it up.
Yeah, and by people who came in over the weekend, she means her.
No, it wasn't me. I had people. Check my blog. Check my little entries of people I make
Check
sign.
my blog.
No, her log.
My log. I make them sign in when they
We have a sign-in sheet at the Welcome Center.
Nice. We're going with the kids early October. And I think that's when I'll really get to experience it. Like I said in the blog, I took a more casual approach this time. I didn't even see the parade, which is the first time in all the years that I actually just spent my time around the park, having fun, taking photos. but I'll enjoy the parade when we go with the kids. And
it's by far the best parade that they had.
Isn't it awesome?
Any park.
Yeah.
It's an awesome parade.
And the Headless Horseman is just, the kids were excited to see him.
Does anybody else notice how much slower the Headless Horseman is now?
That's what I thought. It's been a while since I saw him, but
well, that's because it was either last year or the year before the horse fell.
Yeah.
Right.
So now they're very cautious with that. There's no real galloping going on like there used to be.
Right. Makes it easy to take pictures.
It makes it a lot easier. And it's also people actually get a chance to really see it, as opposed to when he's going by in a blur because the horse is doing 60 miles an hour.
That was cool too, though. But I'm glad they slowed it down.
Is that somebody's finger in that picture?
Oh, I don't know.
No, that was my picture that I took.
That might have been my finger over there.
I don't know.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Oh no.
No, I don't know. That was somebody's body. The way we were standing there. That wasn't me.
Someone who was naked at the party?
Yes.
No, she was wearing
A halter top.
And that was with my new camera, by the way. I'm still working out
the kinks.
And that's the first time I've actually gotten a good shot of the Headless Horseman.
Oh, there you go. But overall, scale of 1 to 10, Scott, this year's party.
8.
8?
Yeah.
Teresa?
9.5.
9.5.
I enjoy it.
Kathy?
I'd give it a 9 just because there wasn't enough back in Fantasyland.
I feel like I went low. Can I go again?
No. Be discerning. Have the courage of your convictions there, Scott. Corey Patrick.
I can't really judge because I missed a lot, but just the environment in general, I'd give it a 9.
9. Dustin.
Well, considering we got there at 7 and left at midnight, those are the actual hours for the party. We packed that amount of time and had so much to do, and we didn't get to do everything. So I give it high marks. Everything we did was fantastic, and there was no shortage of things.
You're not getting away with high marks. Give me a number.
9.
Oh, I'd have to agree. Something like 8.5, maybe 9. The only thing that beats it for me is the Christmas party.
Oh yeah. Oh, the little gingerbread people. Oh, I can't wait.
That's
gonna
Christmas is my all-time favorite. So
Just don't mix them.
gingerbread chocolate.
Gingerbread chocolate. No, it's delicious. Gregory.
I'll give it a 7.
I knew it. I was like, Craig's going to give it.
It's not.
Why coming in so low?
It's not a low thing. I think my first Halloween party was my favorite one. I love the Halloween party more than the Christmas party.
Move on.
I know it's hard. There is
good,
emotional attachments to it. I don't even remember when it was, but no, it was so cool the first time, and it still is amazing. I'm trying to be healthy right now, though, so I didn't want to get any candy. And if it's your thing, it's going to be a 10. But
it's also coming from the standpoint that we do the first night there. We're there for work. So there's a lot of, we try to enjoy ourselves while we do it, but we are trying to get stuff done. And that's why, I'll go back with, Julie will not go with me on the first night ever again.
Oh, she did once. I remembered. It was ugly.
She will not do it again because I can't really spend the time I want with them.
No, of course not.
It's tough. I had asked, sorry to cut you. I had asked Pete, what do you want me to do? Anything specific? And he said, no, just have fun with the kids. So, and we got my son at a soccer game, so we didn't get actually into the Magic Kingdom until I think 8, which is only an hour after it starts. But I felt like we still didn't have enough time to do everything.
Yeah, this is a party you definitely, if you can get there early, because like we said, they'll let you in at 4 o'clock. If you can get in at 4 and just be there to take advantage of everything, that's a really, really good idea. But yeah, because you do miss things. You miss things if 4 hours isn't enough. I don't even think 5 hours.
I don't even think
we
never did make it to Adventureland, but I think we hit everything else. But we definitely didn't hit all the candy stops, and we didn't. We only did the Haunted Mansion, and we didn't do the fireworks. So it was still just trying to move them and get everything done. I mean, we definitely enjoyed it. We just didn't see. So just you want to make sure you take advantage of the full time if you want to. If you want to see everything, I think.
And don't you think as the season progresses, it's only going to get busier, so there'll be less time to do everything.
Sure.
So, Corey, are you going to go closer to Halloween, and you can tell us about how?
No, not closer to Halloween. Early October.
I have never been in October to this, and I've just wondered. I've heard about it. I've got clients going Halloween day, Halloween night. It's going to be a totally different experience than we had.
But I would think they would be prepared for that when we went because it was the first night and we typically know that there's going to be less people there. If you're going on Halloween, I hope people aren't expecting like an empty park.
Well, I don't think they are, but I think they've got to be mentally prepared that they're not going to be able to do everything.
Yeah,
the closer you get to Halloween, the busier this party gets.
Oh, yeah.
There's no question. But
yeah, we're going to dress up. We're going to do the whole thing.
Oh,
see, I give it a 9. I give it a 9. Mainly on the strength of the entertainment and the just the atmosphere in the park, that incredible fireworks show. And I'm with Craig. I prefer Mickey's Not So Scary over Very Merry Christmas Party. And Sean's telling me no.
You don't like the Christmas party?
No, I do like the Christmas party.
What don't you like about it?
I did you not hear me just say I do like the Christmas party? I prefer I like the Halloween party better. That's all. And I think it's I think they do a great job with it. And I realize people complain about the price of the tickets. You know, the kind of entertainment you're getting, the kind of experience you're getting. I think it's worth it. I think it's worth it. Buy one less day. If it's that big a deal for you, buy one less day on your pass. And if you don't have an annual, buy one less day on your pass and go. And I think you'll get more out of 7 or 8 hours from 4 to midnight at Mickey's Not So Scary than you would if you spent the whole day there on a normal day.
Right.
So, you know, that's my take on it. But again, well worth doing, well worth going to. This year, no different than years past. I'm just surprised. I could have sworn we did an overview video of this party last year, and we didn't.
That was funny.
Because, you know, Dustin and I were working on the overview, and I said, let's take a look at last year's. And we go, because we both thought we'd done it. I'm like, wait a second, there's no overview video. So this year we have one.
You know,
last one we did was 2010.
But I think last year y'all didn't even make it around because y'all were staking out all the spots for the parades and fireworks.
Well, we put a lot into the fireworks video or the parade video. Yeah, we did some different things in the parade video.
I felt the merchandise was kind of lacking this year.
Yeah.
I mean, this was the only choice in ears, and
there was that other green one, purple and green. Remember? But it really wasn't Halloween-y. But I would just say that if they were going to make any improvements to the Christmas party and the Halloween party, is have more decorations outside of the Main Street area. Because once you sort of left the hub area, you didn't know that you were there for a party.
Yeah, I agree with that. I was looking for stuff. I was, trying to take photos of the lights and all that stuff, and I really had to look around and try to get creative with it. But you didn't see a lot of you saw projections here and there. Mostly this year it was monsters themed. It wasn't like a spider or anything like that. But you see a lot of that stuff around. But I agree. I think they could add some more stuff.
And I think that's one of the big differences between what we do for Halloween out here and what they do for Halloween out in Disneyland. And that's true for Christmas as well. We decorate the main drag, and then the rest of the park's left to itself. Whereas in Disneyland, every square inch of that park is decorated.
It is so beautiful.
The Haunted Mansion is unbelievable.
The Haunted Mansion's incredible.
Oh my gosh.
It's absolutely incredible. But all right, that is going to do it for our discussion on Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. We hope you enjoyed the show. Come back and join us again next week. Until then, remember everybody. Do I not have audio?
Oh, I thought you just didn't remember.
Sorry. Stay out of the damn lakes.